What do you make of Donald Trump's post on his social media page? And I'm just going to paraphrase it for you because it's really long. He basically says the Gaza Strip will be turned over to the United States by Israel at the conclusion of fighting, adding the Palestinians will be resettled in far safer and more beautiful communities. No soldiers by the United States will be needed. Stability for the region would reign. Is he walking back some of his comments that he made in that news conference with Benjamin Netanyahu? Or is it your sense that he's digging in even deeper?
Your guess is as good as anybody's, quite frankly, because I don't think even the Trump administration is entirely clear about what sort of policy direction is actually being proposed by the president's statements. There's no way that this would turn out to be the case. The Republic of Egypt, the Kingdom of Jordan would not accept taking in forced displaced Palestinians and participating in ethnic cleansing. The idea that Israel could, quote unquote, turn over the territory is ludicrous. With what troops would the United States even hold the territory? He's just said there wouldn't be any troops. And keep in mind, this is Gaza. Gaza is an occupied territory in international law, recognized as such by the United Nations, by the European Union, by the entirety of the world community, with the exception of course, Israel. So I do think this is. I think we're all reading into what he says because, of course, this is the American president, and we have to take notice of what he says. But I'm not sure that we should think that this is the final sort of plan that he's going to settle on.
You mentioned Jordan and Egypt, both U.S. allies, both recipients of military and economic aid from the United States. How vulnerable are they to U.S. pressure? Can Donald Trump use leverage here? Some might call it leverage, some might call it blackmail.
No, I don't think there's any leverage that he can use in order to push forward this type of plan. And I think you've seen very clearly that the Egyptians, the Jordanians, the entirety of the Arab world, but I'd also say not just the Arab world. I think you've seen this internationally in Europe as well, Africa, Asia. I think the vast majority of reactions internationally have been incredibly have been expressed incredibly in opposition to this particular plan, even domestically within the United States, from within the Democratic Party, but even within the Republican Party of Donald Trump. I think there's a lot of, at the very least, suspicion, if not outright complete opposition to the idea.
H.A., do you envision any kind of scenario, if you will, that the expulsion of more than 2 million Palestinians from their homeland with no mention of the creation of an independent Palestinian state, do you envision a scenario where this would fly at all?
No, is the clear answer to that. I'd also be careful about the numbers. You said 2 million. I don't think that there are 2 million Palestinians left in Gaza. I think that a lot of people have been killed as the result of Israel's war on Gaza, and quite a large number have already fled Gaza. As far as a Palestinian state is concerned, I don't see that happening with this current Israeli government at all. And I think a huge transformation would have to take place in Israeli politics, quite frankly, because it's shifted so much further to the right, where just this basic notion of statehood for the Palestinians has become so utterly controversial. So we wait to see what latest crisis will evolve.
And there's been no mention of what would happen to Hamas in this hypothetical scenario. They've suggested an urgent Arab summit. How likely is that to happen?
I think one will happen with or without Hamas calling for it. I don't think Hamas are particularly relevant in this particular aspect of things. But I think you've already seen a huge amount of reaction from the Arab world. But just as a note to your viewers, it's not just the Arab world that is opposed to this. I think this is really quite clear across the board all around the world, including from very staunch American allies and even from, frankly, staunch Israeli allies. The Germans, they came out very much against this. So, I mean, this is across the board, and people should recognize it as such.
All right, we're going to leave it there. H.A. Hellier, thank you very much.
Thank you.